Hello all, this is Sergeant Simmons. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Today I'm going to do a voiceover of my first race since Skippy was a pup. I am at a AHRMA Mid-Atlantic event at, I don't even know where I'm at, maybe Clear Fork, Pennsylvania, I think maybe. And there's a little bit of mud. That's going to be the only mud you see all day. And anyway, the venue is called Quiet Oaks Campgrounds. What a wonderful venue. I have not looked at this video. I've looked at enough of the video to know that on the second lap, what was that? Screwed up my camera with my hand. I literally grabbed it and pointed it at the sky so it couldn't be used. So anyway, you're going to get a voiceover, get a good lay of the land. This is kind of cool here. Didn't get a very good shot of it. Watch, I go, whoop, whoop. Kind of did this little sideways hop thing off that little stump. I am on my 1981, new to me, 1981 Yamaha IT175. That's hard to say because it's pretty new to me. And I started last because that's what I like to do. And this will be me kind of working my way through the pack. The first lap I'm really slow, trying to learn the track. And I'm around a bunch of other people like me who aren't completely infatuated with their finishing positions. And that's fine. If that's what you do, that's what you do. It's all good. So I do apologize about how slow I'm going. Hopefully some of these guys will watch these videos and recognize themselves, so they'll get on the camera here for a bit. As you saw, I started really slow because that's what I do. I just don't mind not getting around people, and I'm just learning the track on the first lap. I think I was a minute and a half, at least a minute and a half faster on the second lap than the first. I'd have to check further down, but it doesn't occur to me to care. Now the venue, these guys down at the Mid-Atlantic people down at AHRMA, that would be the American Historic Motorcycle Racing Association or something like that, whatever it happens to be, AHRMA. They really know their stuff. I've been to an event of theirs, probably 2019, maybe it was, here in Ohio. It rained, and it was just bad. So this was essentially my first race, and as you can see, the course is pretty good. The announcer, I think his name was Dave Kutzel, maybe, who I wish I got that video because he went by me on his, I think it was a YZ400. He went by me so fast on the motocross track that I think my helmet was on backwards after he went past. So anyway, where was I going? Put down in the comments. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, the venue. I heard him say something about this is the staging grounds for the Rattlesnake National Enduro. So it's they know their stuff up there. They did some clear cutting in their back 40. I guess you'll see it. I didn't really notice anything too awfully bad, but I'm a hard enduro guy, so I'd have been plenty happy with them just putting us over top of all the trees and logs and stuff. The course was, for all intents and purposes, quad wide, but only single tracks. You got that line in the middle. Anybody who's ever been to my channel knows that I am pretty hard of vision. I don't see so well. And if I have to stay on one edge of the trail and try to figure out where my handlebars are between the trees when one's not centered and the other one is centered, I just lose my mind. So these AHRMA tracks are usually pretty good because you can center yourself okay. Unlike, like here in Ohio we have CRA and E-Rock, and they always run the quads. And that quad track it befuddles my brain. I don't know. I just can't figure it out because you got to stay in one rut or the other, and I can't see so well. I have no depth perception. I don't look out of both eyes at one time. You know what? It looks like I am actually spitting a dog hair out of my mouth. That's good. I told you I'm not ad-libbing. I'm ad-libbing all this. Looks like I'm actually going pretty good for the first lap. Usually I don't go this fast. So back to the course. It was a good, fun course. This is not going to show you. This is downhill. I kind of wallowed, I remember, here in the first lap. After that, it was a little bit better. There'll be another downhill where everybody was kind of going to the left, and I jumped up to the right. I think it'll probably be the next significant little down. I jumped off to the right and stayed over in the grass. There was a little more traction. The bike being new to me, it had a trashed out front tire, and I have a Bridgestone. I have no idea what Bridgestone, but I know it's a medium hard terrain tire. And I hope to maybe do a couple enduros on this. and that hard to medium to hard terrain tire will last a little longer in the on the roads, for your transition periods for the enduros. And so it was a little bit better. That front tire was a little bit better if I skirted off over to the grass instead of the kind of the churned up sections of the dirt, which, I mean, it wasn't bad at all. It got pretty decent traction, but if I stayed over off the main track, the front wheel tended to work a little better. It wasn't working bad, it would just work a little bit better. I got this bike, I don't know, a month and a half ago, something like that. The manifold was shot on it, so I had to order through DC Plastics. But anything you get through DC Plastics nowadays, since they are the only game in town, they're back ordered on all their plastic stuff. It is what it is. So it took quite a few days for that manifold to come in, and so the bike just sat out there. I pulled the front suspension apart on this 81 IT175, and lo and behold, it had progressive. Well, the guy in the XR, he screwed himself up, and I wasn't paying attention. I must have been looking right at his back fender, and I just ran into the back of him. Oh, cool. Did I get around him? Yeah, hey, I made him pass. Look at me. As you can see, it weaves and bobs. I think he said they only have like 60 acres or something at this venue. And I used to put on a running race at the Indian Trails in Ashtabula, Ohio. And it was only like maybe 400 yards across. And so we went back and forth, and you could see each other. And I always told the people, don't get the wandering eye. And that's what he said. Just, stay on the trail, because if you don't, you're going to run into somebody, and somebody's going to get hurt. So I would, you guys are going to hear the reality of all this. Oh, because here comes the dog barking. He sounds good. That would be Tucker, if you happen to hear him. If you ever watch my stuff, the one that used to bark and really be a pain was my Lucy girl, and she passed away some years ago. And she would always get on my voiceovers doing something. You're going to hear me scream at Tucker for a minute. Back to the... Oh, excuse me. You know what? I'm right by the refrigerator. You're going to hear me get up, turn around, grab me a can of something full of caffeine, and there we go. We're going to get a drink while we're doing this voiceover. Okay, there we go. And anyway, she was always a part of it. Oh, I miss my baby girl. It's been, I don't know if it's rained there. It was like 4 hours, and there's always going to be a train in the background. It was like 4.5 hours to get from Ashtabula, Ohio, something like that, to where the venue was here at Quiet Oaks Campgrounds. So it was a last minute decision. I was like, I'm going to go, I'm not going to go, I'm going to go, I'm not going to go. I'm throwing things around. I'm beating on the motorcycle with a sledgehammer. I'm lying, I didn't do that. I had done that, but I didn't do that. And guy dropped his husky for a dude. No, that's a nice husky, by the way. I think maybe an 82 or something. That was a nice looking husky. He, where was I at? Oh, venue. And I don't know how much rain we've had very little rain here in northeastern Ohio. But the woods, there was absolutely no dust. I know there's a motocross track. I always like racing in pine trees. I don't know why. And why are they always in rows? Have you ever noticed that? Every time we're a race, I raced out in Carolina, they were in rows. There's a place up in Tynessa where I have a cabin, they're in rows. Look, hey, they're in rows here. I don't understand why it's like that. I am not a biologist. I am not a botanist. I'm just a retired cop from the Air Force. So anyway, man, it was a cool course. They worked their butts off in this course. You can tell a lot of virgin trail, lots of cutting. I've been there, I've done a couple AHRMA events for here at Pine Lake in Ashtabula, Ohio, and I had to do some cutting and some stuff like that. And I've done quite a few running events here for the Indian Trails Adventure Run. So I know what it's like to put. I've probably put on 6 or 7 events. Probably more than that if you count the running. So I've done quite a few event organizing and course laying out and stuff, and being the course marshal. I've done that, and so these guys did an impeccable job from what the videos I watched, because Dave Light does a lot of these races. This was actually a really cool section back here in the woods, or once you busted out of the woods. It was really fast. This bike, I had never checked the piston or rings or anything in it, and It is a little bit rough keeping up on top of the RPM. It bogs pretty good. I'm in third. I think I grabbed fourth right here to go down this little hill, but it did not want to pull the hills out of second gear. It is all top end, baby. I mean, like 10,000 RPM. The second, third, and fourth lap, you can really hear I finally got the bike figured out on where it's going to run well and how to do it. Plus, if I was running in second gear, if the people I was coming up behind, they could hear you better. I didn't want to rev it really loud and, you know, scream and shout, because I know I'm slow and I don't want to be a belligerent idiot. And plus, if I pass you and I ask you to move over, guess what I'm going to do every time? 11 times out of 10, I'm going to stall the bike or crash as soon as I get by you, because that's what I do. Anyway, back to the bike here. Oh, no, I was talking about Dave Light Racing. If you watch all Dave Light stuff, he does a lot better job than I do on explaining venues and all that. And I'm just, so you guys may want to watch this next year and see what the course was like. That's probably why I do all this, because God knows I'm not going to be famous with my 260 followers. Woohoo! Yay me. So bike, I pulled the front end apart on it when I got it. Oh, guess what? I think, nope, I didn't stall. Maybe I did stall. Did I stall? Oh, I don't know. No. I can't hear. Yes, I did. Look at me. Now I got to start this thing. Oh, I see. Told you. I just got, but I didn't ask that guy to pass. I'll catch him back up, I do believe. But I think the only person to pass me was Dave Gutzel. He passed me twice on the motocross track. This bike cannot get out of its own way. So as part of the rebuild process, the rear brakes sheared off, so I had to order some new drum brakes, some new shoes. Here we go. On the clutch, on the clutch, on the clutch, on the clutch, on the clutch. It has a, we'll get suspension in a minute. It came with a Ching Chin, I think it's a 755. That's what I had on it when I got it. And the tread was still there, and I'm like, yeah, it holds air. So, what the heck? And so I'm just running that thing. And it does remarkably well. I mean, I think it's because I don't make enough horsepower to spin a tire. So you get pretty good traction. In the hard enduro and trials world, you don't use all your horsepower. You always load that flywheel, and you have to try to work off the flywheel, not the piston. Because even this little thing, the piston's going to have enough horsepower to break traction. But if you live on the flywheel, that tends to keep you right at that traction point where you don't spin so much, and you get that traction when it's muddy. Not that it was real muddy. Oh, I didn't even finish. I am all over the place today. Excuse me. The no dust, just a little bit tacky. I don't know when the last time it rained here was, but it was nice. It was really cool. I don't think I lost the front end once. It was a little bit slippy on the motocross track just because they raced the motocross the day before, and I don't know, they did 21, 22, 23, 24. I don't know how many motos they did. But, so it's a little used up, and there's going to be one line. There's going to be dust and marbles and stuff. But traction was remarkably good there. Woohoo! Look at me coming in tight. Out braking with drum brakes. Yeah, well, he's got drum brakes too, so it's a misnomer there. All right, back to the suspension. I pulled the suspension off because this thing it was like pogo sticks. I think it had about 10 millimeters of oil in it. It was bad, dude. Nothing. So I got new seals, but when I pulled the forks apart, it had progressive fork springs in it. I guarantee that this thing came with straight rate springs. I didn't. So I was like, somebody has been in this at some point in time. So I went through and I put it, I think, 100 millimeters from the top, maybe 95 of oil, and with those springs and new fork seals and stuff. And man, the front suspension worked pretty good on this old IT. Rear suspension I never touched, and rode it like 2 times for like 10 minutes each. I'm like, I need to stiffen her up a little, so I pushed into preload. There's like 30 clicks of adjustment, so I put this thing like right in the middle, took a couple rides, and on the adjustments I sped the rear end up a little because I love logs and I wanted to have a little more snap if I'm double blipping or something going over log. That's where you go, and I want a little bit more snap, so I wanted my rebound to be a little bit quicker. And so that's what I did to the rear. Here's the motocross course. Hey, we're getting pretty close to finish. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I can't believe I have yacked this long, and I can't believe anybody has stayed out this long to watch this. I watched a lot of these motocross races in past years, the videos that people put up. This is a cool little tabletop. I had a little candy butted going over the first one. The second, third, and fourth lap, I was in 5th gear going over that because this little 175 cannot pull 6th gear. I can pull it on the road. There's some railroad tracks behind my house. I pulled 6th gear once. But on the road, I just can't do it. Oh, this guy's on a 1981 Yamaha IT175. I went and talked to him. They also had a KDX, that's my other bike. They had a IT200, and the seat on my bike is trashed. And so I went by this guy's truck. Thank you, dude. If you watch this video, I do appreciate you letting me doing that. Not that I didn't thank you at the time. I was wondering if I'd see you out in the trail, and I didn't even recognize you. I'm sorry. I must have had the race face going on. And I was measuring out seats to see if, because they don't make the seat foam for this bike, but they do make the seat foam for 200s and the 82, 83 IT175s. And so I was, well, his is running better than mine. So that means I probably need piston rings because he just outpulled me. So maybe I do need a piston rings. So, hey, I'm learning just like you guys are. I'm kidding. You're not learning anything. You're learning that I'm a weird person and I talk a lot. So, oh, look at me going wide because I'm trying to keep a little momentum. I still think I had to shift at the top of this hill. On 2 laps, I think it was, old Dave Cutzel went by me on that YZ. One of them was right there. It was just, wow, that was a fast bike. Wow, that was a fast bike. Anyway, we were measuring out seats to see if I could find some foam that was relatively close so I could figure out something to do. And I was wondering if I'd see this fellow 81 out there. I did order plastic for mine, so eventually it will look like his bike. So I actually ordered a stock rear fender for it so I can have the light so I can do some enduros. Well, it looked a little more enduro-ish. So I didn't realize that I was idling. If any of you ever watched, what is that? Zack Attack. He always would say that. We're in a little bottle. He sounds a little like Marty LaCour for you people that I cut the course a little bit there and then I slowed down because you're not allowed to, make up time cutting a course, but I didn't see that until the last minute. So I kind of slowed down. I'm like, all right, now that I'm past it, let me resume. And it looks like I got around him. Good for the little 81 IT175 versus the IT175. Oh, I got this bike by accident. It wasn't a thing. I wasn't out looking for it. I was looking for a bike. I wanted a KDX, an A model, KDX 200 or a KDX 175 to do the enduros on. But this thing popped up, good deal. I got 2 of them. The other one's got it's all frozen up. It's a parts bike. Maybe I'll try to figure out something with it one day. But it's just sitting over in the garage. Anyway, 2 of them for $400. And I put handlebars on this. Like I told you, I rebuilt the forks, put a new front tire on it. You can see I put some not bar ends. That's a Bicycle World. I put the hand guards on it, and that's it, man. Well, changed the oil, went racing. So I made out. It was pretty good. So anyway, we are on that 1981 Yamaha IT175, new to me, and we were at an AHRMA Mid-Atlantic Regional. Great time, great people. Had a good time, and that's not like me because a lot of times I get mad and I get in fights with people, and because I can be a butthead. Anyway, they did a great job. I'm impressed. I'm hoping to hit some more, and then maybe a couple nationals with AHRMA, and then maybe some JXC racing. But there you go. We are in. Where did I say we were? Cross Fork, Pennsylvania, at the something campgrounds. Quiet Oak Campgrounds, AHRMA, Mid-Atlantic. See you there next year. Until next time, Simmons is... Don't know what my number is. Oh!